Hello everyone, it's Michael here, welcome back to the Game Room, and this is a very quick review of the newly released Final Vendetta. Developed by Bitmap Bureau and published by Numskull Games. This is of course a game that's part of my absolute favourite genre, the hard-hitting scroller, as I like to call it affectionately. That's how we call it in Italy, and that's literally translated, but I kind of like the way it sounds. But yes, anyway, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. So on with the show. Skip the quick tutorial. Now you've got three characters to choose from. Each one is different from the other. You have the very slow wrestler here. You have the very quick female character who's extremely nimble, very agile, very quick, but she's not quite as powerful. And then you have the good all-rounder, which I tend to choose. So anyway, first of all, I'm going to tell you the good bits about the game, and there are good bits. First of all, the animation and the graphics are quite superb. It's very smooth. The actual gameplay itself is very snappy, very fast paced, and you really have to keep your wits about you in order to survive. Now each character has got a good assortment of punches and kicks and special moves that they can use. I'll try and go through a few of them here. And you can stomp on players while they're down, which is a pretty good move, but they tend to get up very quickly. Now, as you can see, the backgrounds are pretty amazing, and for a change, the game is set in London, which is another thing that attracts me. It's a British themed game, why not? Now you can destroy phone boxes to get goodies. You get your usual foodstuffs that you can pick up to replenish your health a little bit or a lot, depending on what it is you pick up. And there are 6 levels, 6 stages, and culminating in a final boss. Now, here's the bit that I like a little bit less. Now, I emailed the developers myself. They replied pretty quickly, within less than an hour, which is really good customer service. And I gave a little suggestion, which is why I'm going to come to the part where I'm not too mad about a certain feature of the game. Now, I am all for the old school arcade experience, where you have a limited amount of lives and only one continue. And once you use up those lives, it's game over. You have to go back to the beginning. Now, the game itself isn't easy. The more you progress into it, you'll find that the enemies that you fight become much quicker, and they always seem to get hits in before you can even say ah, and you get pummeled very quickly before you know it. The bosses get progressively harder. The first one's pretty easy, the second one isn't too bad. By the time you reach the third one, I can't get past level 4. Now, I'm a very experienced gamer. I've been playing games since the 70s, and I'm 55 years old now, and I've played hundreds of these hard-hitting scrollers, which I love. Now, I think for the non-hardcore gamers among us, they're not going to see the end of this, and I am one of those people, because I don't consider myself a hardcore gamer. I'm an experienced one. I'm very experienced, but to not be able to see what the rest of the game has to offer because it only has that, limited amount of lives and no continues whatsoever, that can be a little bit alienating for the more casual players among us, I think. This is the first boss which I'm showing you. He's not too hard. You stay out of his way. He's pretty easy to dispatch, as long as you keep at him. And there you have it. But that's the only con I've got against Final Vendetta, because as a game in itself, it's very polished, And like I said, when it was announced, I was very excited because I simply love these games. But the lack of continues, I think, and that actually puts me off a little bit because, you know, not just myself, but other people are not going to be able to see the end of the game because it is really hard. It gets very hard. And you get overwhelmed and surrounded by enemies, and before you know it, you've lost a good 2 or 3 lives within a level. And it's not easy to progress. But other than that, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 because it's still very polished indeed. It's one of the better side-scrollers out there, I think. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this very quick review. And the game is available on the UK store for £19.99. And stay down. Oh, here she comes. Okay, take care. Until the next review, coming up very shortly.